Welcome to the Fat Guys with Smokers podcast. I'm Mike.
And I'm John. We're a couple of overweight barbecue enthusiasts trying to share our love for sweet and smoky food with the world.
Thanks for hanging out with us as we talk about life, share recipes, successes, and failures that have all led to our love of cooking outdoors.
Hey, howdy, hey!
Oh my gosh. Oh, it's official now. It has to be.
I think
First show of 2024. We open with that. I feel like we can't go back.
No.
All right.
Traditions.
All right.
Tradition.
Okay. Tradition.
I love it. Welcome to the new year, everybody. It's good to be here.
Yeah.
Down in the pit, Mike and I were just talking about this is episode 54.
I was going through some pictures on my phone yesterday, and I came across our first episode that we recorded, sitting on your couch. We were both awkward as heck.
Do you have pictures from that?
Where do we? I think I just have a picture of the setup. You should post it.
I don't think I've got the picture. You'll have to send it to me.
I will. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I know. I was going through old videos. I was backing stuff up. And saw the video from the first episode we recorded with video.
Oh yeah.
In the other room with the whiteboard behind us and the super ghetto
John and Mike present. That's awesome. It's been a good year. People said we wouldn't make it this far.
I know.
But we proved them wrong.
It's a little wild.
Yeah.
I kind of can't believe it.
I can't either. It would be... Do we have a lot of people still joining and listening and... You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
I haven't looked for a while. It seemed like we were pretty consistently gaining followers, and then I stopped looking.
Yeah, I did too, because as exciting as it is to see the followers, and we continue to gain some, this is for us. I love doing this, and I love getting people engaged.
Oh yeah, and I love when people will talk to me about it and stuff. It's a lot of fun. Hey, we heard about this. I had this mug sitting on my desk today. It's got the Fat Guys with Smoker sticker on it. And I had two girls say, "Hey, my dad listens to that podcast." I was like, "What? Awesome."
Nice. Yeah, we just over 7,000 downloads.
Hey, that's not bad.
Yeah.
I remember when we were hoping to get 200. So that's cool.
Yeah, we've got let's see, how can I figure this out?
Tell your friends, everybody. Set a New Year's resolution. Tell your friends. We're just a couple of fat guys with smokers. We're down to earth. Fun to listen to.
Yeah, we've got listeners.
Totes adorbs, if I may.
Just ask my wife.
Yeah.
Canada, Belgium, Australia, Germany, Singapore, UK, Spain, Colombia, Romania.
We could get in with the cartel. We may never have to pay for anything again.
The French Frogs, Ecuador. I scrolled too far. India, Mexico, Nigeria. Maybe the prince really is listening.
Hey-o. I knew that money wasn't going to waste.
Bulgaria, Egypt, Finland, Ireland, and Thailand are all countries that have recorded listeners.
So I feel like we're an international podcast now. Crap's getting real. People need to get out the way. All right, watch out, Barbecue Central. We're coming for you.
I can't wait for him to hear that and be like, "Who are you?"
Yeah. What? Oh, shoot.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up all sorts of
things. John, I'm going rogue.
Do it.
Because we did not talk about this, but I have a shout out that I wanted to share.
I love it.
Because it's hilarious. Let me see if I can find her on Instagram, because I have her TikTok, but I'm not sure what her Instagram handle is. Oh, shoot. There it is. That's the one. Okay. It is apple sauce and ADHD.
I like it.
Listen, it's this lady. Her name's Jessica. And she's in Michigan, and she is hilarious. But she does cooking tutorials that she calls aggressive cooking tutorials. And she, like, yells at you as she's making it. Like, listen, I do it this way. I don't care what you want to do. Come at me in the comment. Like, it's awesome. And I think most of her stuff, I'm just looking on Instagram. She doesn't have a ton of stuff. But her TikTok is hilarious. And I just subscribed, and so I get, like, a daily video of her cooking something. And it's like, I mean, there's not a lot of barbecue that I've seen. It's like down home cooking. She cooks for her and her 2 kids. But, man, she's funny. And she will just, I mean, she'll yell at you just for watching her videos. And I love it. And she'll always be like, follow me for more aggressive tutorials. It's really funny. So, anyway, shout out to her because she's hilarious.
Hey, we need more funny people in this world.
I agree. Less negativity, more comedy. Excuse me. Anyway, that's my shout out that we didn't talk about at all. Usually we talk about the shout outs and kind of familiarize each other with them, but check out her TikTok for aggressive tutorials on cooking things because she is hilarious.
Nice. So, few other stats here.
Go for it.
While you were, I don't want you to get aggressive with me, but
listen, I was just trying to take up space, so go on.
We looks like we've got about 80 people that are subscribed on Apple Podcasts.
Okay.
So many other places to do it, but this is one where you can get it. But we've got 180 listeners, so a lot of you are listening and you're not subscribed. So help the brothers out and click the follow and subscribe button.
Hit that subscribe.
Yep. 657 hours of playtime.
Good heavens.
Just on Apple Podcast.
Hey, I'll take that. I'll take that all day, son.
All day.
All day.
All day, son. So thank you for listening.
Yeah.
And then YouTube is starting to build up too.
Is it? We need to start posting like cooking videos and fun stuff on YouTube. I just haven't gotten into that and how to edit it and stuff.
I know.
It took me a long time to figure out how to post a reel. So
I was worried, about learning it, and because I feel like YouTube Shorts, that's like the new thing. That's where all the cool kids are.
That's the reels of tomorrow.
Yeah. So we need someone to educate us that. But went to dinner with my 10-year-old last night, who was excited because last time he went to Beehive Grill, the Alfredo was bussin'.
Oh, there it is.
And that's what he wanted again.
Bussin', everybody.
And I sat there going, what? But yeah, we're almost at 56 subscribers. So I'm going to try and figure out how to put a button right here.
This area.
Right here.
Region here.
Maybe a little bit lower. I feel like the bottom right corner.
This
right
area.
Here.
By our bellies.
Right here.
Belly level.
Belly level. Click the subscribe button, folks. Help us out. We're really focused on growth for 2024.
Yeah, we really want to kind of take it seriously and try to reach more people.
So engage with us. Send us your ideas. Ask for content that you're excited to hear about. We've got a couple of cool ideas.
Yeah.
To include more guests appearances. And I started listening to the New Heights podcast.
I love the New Heights podcast.
And similar to them, I feel like everybody appreciates when the wives are on.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I want a regular segment with the girls.
I love it. I'm on board.
So, if you're listening and you know our wives, text them now. I will not put their phone numbers right here.
Nope.
That's for me. But text them, call them.
Tell them to get on.
at them on Instagram, we need the wives because y'all just love them.
I mean, so do I. So
can't blame them.
No regrets.
Yeah, one of our best, statistically best episodes ever was the getting to know Mike and John episode
with the ladies.
With the ladies when they asked us questions.
All right.
So,
well, that's fair.
Haley's gonna be thrilled when she hears
Whitney
this.
loves it. She loves
so much.
Loves it.
They are as type A as I am. They are not.
Yeah.
Not even a little. Mm-mm. So. But one thing that they are both into.
Yeah. Saving money. That was awesome. We nailed that. We're so in sync.
Didn't even plan that, everyone.
We're like Timberlake and JT over here. Timberlake and JT? Isn't JT the other one's name?
No, JT is Justin Timberlake.
Oh, that's right. Who's the other? Shoot. JC maybe? I don't know. I can't remember. I was never into boy bands. Don't ask Whitney about that. Yeah, we thought we'd talk about kind of saving money, barbecue styles.
Oh no.
What happened?
We have no audio. Stand by.
Do I need to pop it out? Pop it back in?
No, I just... And we're back with the good audio.
Hey! Hey, howdy, hey!
Hey, howdy, hey! That's what happens when John gets clumsy and bumps things.
Yeah, how dare you.
But,
saving money.
Oh, yeah. I was going to talk about the one time that I did the bye dance.
Oh, please do.
No, I just...
Oh,
that's the whole thing.
There
was a talent show that a couple of my buddies and I...
Oh, nice.
The whole thing. Bye. In Sync? Backstreet Boys?
No, that's In Sync. I know because up until about 5 years ago, I had been to 2 concerts in my life. Backstreet Boys and Backstreet Boys.
Nice.
Yeah, I was a pretty diehard fan in middle school until I started telling people and then realized, oh, turns out they didn't appreciate it as much as I did. So
Ray Canavino was our student body advisor in middle school, and he was, now looking back, like inappropriately obsessed with with the Backstreet Boys. But yeah, we had some fun. So back to saving money, though.
Anyway,
let me pull us out of that rabbit hole. We were just talking about how we needed better editing. That's that's a great gif right there that could happen.
People are probably listening to this like they were on the phone with their friends to tell them about this. That happened, and they were like,
you know what? Never mind. Just
I can't even remember what I was going to do.
Yeah. But there are lots of things in barbecue, especially, that you can get sucked into and spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
This is not a cheap hobby.
It's not. It can be affordable, but, I mean, you can spend a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
You can spend
a ton of money. So we thought we would talk a little bit about me not answering a call from my dad right now.
Hey, Papa Mick.
Custom.
So me and John kind of took different approaches to this. John, I feel like you were going to talk kind of about meats and cuts and how to save money that way.
Yep.
And I was kind of going to I was thinking more along the lines of gimmicky, gadgety things that, I mean, to be clear, are awesome, most of them. Many of them are extremely helpful, but are really unnecessary if you're trying to save a little bit of money. Like, they can be swapped out for something different. So why don't you go first and tell us about what you did today?
So what I did today, we talked about a couple of weeks ago, but I had bought a whole rib roast in a big chunk of meat in a cryovac, plastic packaging that, like, it's a massive cut of meat. The good thing about the massive cuts of meat is the butchers haven't put a lot of time and money into trimming it, cutting it down, making it into the manageable bite-sized pieces that most people know and love.
That you buy at the store.
Yeah. So when you buy really big cuts of meat, you can get that saving. So rib roast, it's where the ribeye comes from. La creme de la creme as far as I'm concerned.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah. So ribeyes, you pay anywhere from like $12 at a screaming deal all the way up to like $16 a pound. Mm-hmm. I paid $6 a pound for this rib roast.
And you can cut it as thick as you want.
Yeah, you can cut them however you want. So the way I did mine, I got two-bone rib roasts. So great little...
Will that feed your family?
It will.
2 bones?
Yeah, I won't have a ton of leftovers, but I'll have, that's great to cook up and either serve like a prime rib type roast, or it's also great to cook and then cut down for like sliced roast beef sandwiches, roast beef lunch meat is another option that way, or just slice it up like a Sunday roast. Like it's just a really nice roast. So I got 2 of those. And then I've got it's probably a 2-inch thick bone-in ribeye, which is beautiful.
That sounds awesome.
And then I had 4 1-inch steaks and a bunch of, I just call it grind. It's, the fat that I trimmed off that had a little bit of meat in it that I just freeze. And after I do, 5 or 6 things, I'll take all of my grind and turn it into hamburger.
Oh, that's a good idea. So you hang on to it before grinding, because I'm thinking I grind it and then it sits there and it's worthless. But if you just save everything, you freeze it all and then thaw it out and grind it.
Yep. So I took all of those, put it into vacuum packs, threw it in the freezer, and it'll be there whenever we're ready for it.
Nice.
So
I like that.
But I got, probably close to $200 worth of cut meat for, right around $100.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was great. And it also meant that I got to have steak tonight for dinner. So we did steak sandwiches that they'd be bussin'.
Ooh, bussin'.
Bussin'.
I love it.
But you can do that with a lot of things. The only one that I don't think is necessarily worth it is chicken. Like, just buy your boneless, skinless thighs, or your frozen chicken breast. Like, you're not going to save enough money breaking down whole chickens to make it worthwhile.
Right. Unless you grow your own meat chickens.
And if you're doing that, it's because you want to grow meat birds, right. And it's like you're doing it for the hobby and for the I raised my own food vibes,
right? Not
because you're saving money.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that.
Yeah, it's like my non-egg-laying chickens in the backyard. Like, I'm not making money by having birds.
Yeah,
so
more for fun for the kids and stuff.
But pork for sure. Buy those big old pork loins.
Oh yeah,
Costco had whole pork loins for $8 off a package. I paid $7 this weekend for a whole pork loin that will easily turn into 6 or 7 meals.
Yeah. Well, tonight we had pork chops that I got from just a loin. I just cut them. I mean, they're phenomenal. Kids love them. They're cheap.
Yeah, cut them into roast, cut them into skinny chops, cut them into thick chops, stuff the chops. Like,
yeah,
there's a whole myriad of things you can do with that. You could, even if you really wanted to, you could shred it.
Didn't you do a braided pork loin?
I did do a braided pork loin, and it was awesome. It looks super cool. So, but you can do it. You can definitely do it with beef, and there's lots of different cuts. Sirloin is another one that's normally $7 or $8 a pound. You can get sirloin for $4 or $5 a whole sirloin, and you can break that down. You'll get a picanha out of it. You'll get a bunch of sirloin steaks. And a lot of people swear by sirloin. It's not one of my favorite cuts, But a lot of people, treat it like filet mignon because it's a really lean cut of meat.
Yeah. I like sirloin. And usually it's less expensive than some of the other ones too.
So look for those opportunities to do a little bit of the work on your own. It gives you the ability to customize what you want, because finding like nice inch thick steaks, you typically have to pay a premium for those.
Oh yeah.
Because grocery stores like to cut them into half-inch, flappy little pieces of paper that just dry out. So
yeah,
there's lots of opportunities to do some of the work, get it exactly how you want it, and save a ton of money.
I like that.
So
I kind of like butchering too. It almost makes me feel more like a man.
Man, if I had infinite free time, I would definitely go do the butchering class at the community college.
Yeah, we've talked about this. I'd get all over that for sure. For sure. Well, John, here are some of my money savers that I thought of. Okay. And I want to reiterate, I am not bashing any of these products. I think they're awesome. But if you're trying to save a little money, this is just some things that you could probably do without. Okay. That's where I'm going. My first one on here that I actually have loved forever until you mentioned when we were talking about fire starters. I always bought the tumbleweeds. They're a great product, and they're really easy. And they're not overly expensive, but, that's money that I didn't need to spend because you mentioned that you just crumple up some butcher paper, put a little oil on there, and use that under your charcoal chimney.
Yep, that's what I do.
So that's what I've been doing. Only I've been using paper towels because I always have them right there. So
paper towels work. Yeah. Newspaper, if you even want to give in cheaper. I mean, that's what I started with was newspaper.
Yeah.
Or you can get really wild and use the charcoal bag itself.
Oh, I've done that before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
No, I love that. And I don't want to knock the tumbleweeds because when
you're
out camping and you're in a wet environment, you can't go wrong having a good solid fire starter.
Yeah, 100%. And they are super handy. You throw two down, you don't have to worry about it. I'm not knocking, I'm just saying if you wanted to save a little money, that's one place that you can start for sure.
When you're at home, most of the time you don't have to have them.
Right. Number 2, I put a brining bucket. Have you ever used a brining bucket?
I mean, I've used what I have for a brining bucket.
See, that's what I'm talking about. You can pay, I think Yeti makes a brining bucket.
Oh, yeah. The Yeti bucket?
Yeah.
It looks sweet.
It looks amazing. And again, I'm not knocking it. I think Meat Church kind of has their own little brining bucket. That
there are several.
And I mean, that's awesome. I have always used either a giant Ziploc bag for brining a turkey, either a giant Ziploc bag or a literal turkey oven bag. I've just put it in there, dumped it all in. It's nice to have it in like a 5-gallon bucket or whatever, just to kind of keep the shape and keep it submerged. But you don't need to spend $50 or $60 on a brining bucket.
Oh. Yeah, my move it. Firehouse subs. Mm-hmm. There are a couple of different firehouses, at least around here, but Firehouse subs. That's they do like the firehouse named subs that they work with first responders. You can buy their pickle buckets.
Oh yeah, you've talked about this.
I've got 2 of them upstairs. They're $3 a piece. It has a lid with it. It's food safe material. Wash it out. I mean, the bucket smells like pickles forever, but it just adds flavor. It's not a...
How big is it? 5 gallons?
It's a 5-gallon bucket.
Really? Huh. Noted.
Yeah, it's awesome. You just go in and it's hard to beat a $3 5-gallon bucket. You can't even do that with a lid. You can't even do that at Home Depot.
Oh, not even close. You're lucky to get the bucket itself for $5 now.
Yeah.
Even more. That's awesome. This could spark controversy.
Do it.
I put a wireless, or I would even argue a wired thermometer. Now, hear me out.
This is a gimmick?
Well, not necessarily.
Okay.
But something that, while awesome, you could save money on. So I got a ThermoWorks Dot, and I loved it. And then I got a ThermaPen, and I never use it anymore. Like
really,
when I would leave it in, I mean, I would go out and check on it, and it wasn't a big deal, but I left it in once, and it like almost burned the probe. So I need a new probe for it. So I just haven't been using it, but I just take my Thermapen out, stick it in, it immediately reads the temperature. It's been really nice. So I am not saying that you don't need a leave-in wireless thermometer, because I would love to have one to like measure ambient temperature in the grill as far as that goes, and watch as it's rising, and especially to have it on your phone. I'm just saying, if you wanted to save money, don't feel like that is a necessity from the beginning.
Well, and I mean, you're talking about, Thermapens and
meters, top of the line stuff.
Yeah, you're talking about a really expensive brand. And look, I love my meter. Took me a minute to figure it out and like really get it dialed into the way I want to use it. Mm-hmm. It is a luxury, and a luxury I enjoy.
Yeah.
But I've got a ThermPro. I think I always get them because there's ThermaPro and ThermPro. So they're two separate companies. One of them's like their logo's orange with a flame in the middle of it. Mm-hmm. It's a pretty inexpensive brand, but for $30 you can have a leave-in thermometer that's wireless, that you can carry the receiver around in your house, get a reading, and that works the same way my meter does.
100%.
So you don't have to spend the $250 for the meter block to be able to do what you want.
Yeah, I agree. And on that note,
part of the fun sometimes just opening it up and checking out the kind of meat. Like stick it with the thermometer and go for it.
Yeah. And if you're looking, you ain't cooking. See, I understand that you don't want to be opening it up all the time, but I think for a quick check, it's not a
It's fine.
But I will say, I was looking on the Barbecue Brethren forum. You ever read through that? No. It's kind of, I mean, if I have a barbecue question, it usually pops up on Google, so I go and check it out. But they had a thread that was best and worst barbecue purchases. And a lot of people had cheap digital thermometers. So I would just say, make sure you do your homework, because there's good ones and people are going to review them fine. And you don't need to get the top of the line or anything.
I used a $7 ThermPro instant read thermometer. It took like 3 seconds to get a reading. I used that for 8 years before I started buying a nice thermometer. Yeah. And I cooked a ton of food that way.
It works fine. You do need a thermometer, but you don't need to break the bank on one. Let's see. One other thing I have on here is, and I think a lot of people would agree with this, is high temp grill gloves. I think that was the most common thing on that thread that I was looking at that people said was the biggest waste of money.
Overrated.
I mean, cotton gloves with replaceable nitrile gloves. It's a game changer, and you can change them out, and it's not messy, and so.
Yeah, that honestly, I rarely try and handle meat with gloves. Like, maybe I'm just a baby, but I've got bare paws of hands, so all of those high temp gloves, silicone gloves, my hands are too big.
Yeah.
Like, I get in there and, I'm at my second knuckle where the fingers end, and it's like, what am I going to do here?
Yeah.
And the cheap cotton liners and nitrile gloves, they work, but if you're going to hold it for a long time, you're going to feel the heat, and I'm just a baby. Yeah. So, I think high heat gloves are totally overrated unless you're going to wear leather, and the leather ones are going to get trashed super fast. So, skip the gloves, buy a pizza peel instead.
There you go. Heck yeah. Where are we at time-wise? We're about there.
I have no idea because we...
oh, that's right. We lost and then we came back. Huh?
We restarted the recording on the recorder, so...
Well, let me just say...
Good. Keep going.
Okay. I put fancy ingredients on here. I once tried to follow a recipe and bought all this stuff that the recipe had, like turbinado sugar, which is delicious.
What is turbinado sugar? I've heard of it, but
I don't actually know. Malcolm Reed used it on a pork loin once, and so I bought a bag of it, and I used a little bit of it, but it's still sitting in my pantry. And it wasn't overly expensive, but it was obviously not super necessary. So sometimes recipes will call for crazy, weird, fancy ingredients, and I feel like a good salt and sugar rub is going to be just fine.
It's raw sugar.
Yeah, that seems right.
Yeah.
It says raw on it, so. And it's fine. I mean, it's good, but I don't really use it that much. So if we're trying to save money, we probably don't want to get stuff that's just going to sit on our shelf we're never going to use again.
Yeah,
so
keep it simple.
Yeah. Oh, on that note, Blues Hog barbecue sauce. Listen, if you like it, awesome. But when I was doing the competition with my brother this summer, we bought some, and I bought a gallon of this sauce. And I think it's like championship blend or whatever, because somebody told us that that's what we needed.
It is a huge name in competition barbecue.
Yeah. And I'm not knocking it. I'm sure it's great. However, my wife will not let me buy barbecue sauce until it is all gone. And I've been eating Blues Hog barbecue sauce on everything for the last, 6 months. And I'm here to tell you, it was not worth it. Especially if your wife makes you pay for your mistakes like mine does.
Are you telling me I need to break in?
I'm just saying, if you wanted some, she filled so it just came in a gallon jug, and I didn't know how much I was going to need. So I was just like, I'd hate to be in the middle of the competition and not have enough.
Yeah.
Well, as it turns out, a gallon was about a gallon too much because I did not even make a dent.
It's not cheap. It's like, what, 30, 40 bucks a gallon?
$40 for a gallon of barbecue sauce. So anyway, she has filled 4 spaghetti jars. And she's being so mean about it. I'm like, hey, it is good, and I'm not knocking it. It's good. But after the first month, I was like, can we just maybe, I don't know, get some Sweet Baby Ray's or something? No, you will eat all of this. I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah.
So shout out to Whitney for sticking to her guns, but don't buy a gallon of barbecue sauce.
I'm a huge fan of just Casey Masterpiece. Or Kraft barbecue sauce. You go to Walmart and there's 1,200 different flavors of it. Mm-hmm. Man, it went on sale one day and I bought 20 different varieties. Ooh. And it's $1 a bottle. It was okay. Mm-hmm. And you get to try a bunch of different flavors and it's every bit as good as the $40 gallon.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
for sure.
Yeah, Head Country barbecue sauce right now is what I'm hooked on.
I've never even heard of that. What's that? Head Country barbecue sauce. Is it fancy or
It's middle grade fancy.
Okay.
But it's it's really good.
Right on.
Yeah, a certain individual got me hooked on it. Ryan Rigby.
Oh. Right on.
Yeah.
Well, right on.
Yep, he's into the apple habanero variety. I've been on the raspberry chipotle.
What is this called? Because now you got me hooked on this. Head Country barbecue?
Yeah. I may or may not know a guy who can wholesale it now.
Ooh. Head Country barbecue. Okay.
What else you got on the list?
Well, let's see. So I have, and I think we've kind of talked about a lot of these when we did our barbecue starter kits.
That was a long time ago. We should probably do that again.
We should, because that was a good one, and I feel like things change a lot.
Yeah, we need to agree on the rules that we're going to follow this time.
That's true. We kind of changed things up a little bit.
Somebody told me a set of rules and then played by a different set.
Whatever. I feel like we were on the same page until we weren't. You know?
I did what you said, and you showed up with a different playbook.
I don't remember this at all. I'll have to re-listen to the episode, and then I'll come out guns blazing.
Yeah, I remember $1,000, and I had to buy the grill with my $1,000.
Right. And I assumed that we already had the grill. That's right. Okay. That's my bad, everybody. The only other thing, well, I had a couple other things on there, but One other thing I had was you can pay $30 or $40 for a barbecue mister to kind of spritz your stuff. I went to, and it's like a big one, like a big gallon. I mean, you could use but if you've got a lot of stuff and you're spritzing a lot, I went to Harbor Freight and got a $5 weed sprayer, and it is my favorite gadget ever.
Oh, yeah, it's fantastic. I've got one, too.
Yeah, it's amazing. So I love it.
And the best part is when, even after cleaning it, inevitably it gets clogged with something, you throw it away and buy another $5 one.
$5. I mean, you spend more than that on a thing of good rub. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my favorite is functional, affordable, and disposable.
Yes, I love it. It's not very green.
Yeah, it's barbecue, man. We are burning wood to cook our meat.
Burning the ozone. That's awesome.
Yeah, there are literally government agencies that ask us not to do what we're doing when the air gets bad. So, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I like it. So I think in summary, John, one does not have to have millions of dollars in order for one to enjoy smoking barbecue.
No.
And all things related unto it.
No. You can have a fantastic experience with a kettle charcoal grill and a bag of charcoal.
Yeah.
Build your snake, throw a foil pan in the middle of that thing, and go cook some ribs.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, man, I'm hungry now.
Me too. Guess I'll go to bed.
I was going to say, I know, it's too bad. It's 9 o'clock at night. Otherwise, I'd be making ribs.
Yeah. True that.
So, until next time, I'm John.
I'm Mike.
And we're the Fat Guys with Smokers. Thanks for listening to the Fat Guys with Smokers podcast. Be sure to check us out on Instagram and Facebook. Leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Be sure to subscribe so you don't forget to tune in for even more nonsense from a couple of Fat Guys with Smokers.
Don't forget to like, subscribe.